Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Touring Car Sim Racing League. This is the final race of the season, coming to you live from the Sonoma Raceway. Well, not live at Sonoma. Let's be honest, we are live at, where are we? We're live in Cheltenham. That's where we are. So we're coming over. As you might notice, we are running on the old software tonight. We've gone back to the other software because every time you change the driver, it seems to have a huge wobble. So there we go. There is a lot to play for tonight. A lot to do, a lot to put down. Points equal prizes, and that's where it's going to come at the end of the day. Right. There's the event info, Sonoma Raceway. It's the WCC layout. We're running WTCR, cars and TC. And take that off. So let's get to the business end while we've got 8 minutes and a half remaining. We're watching Shaw's going round at the moment. So we have 8.5 minutes remaining of the practice session. Then we have a 15-minute qualifying, and that 15-minute qualifying will take us into race 1. From race 1, we then go to race 2. Race 2 starting positions are determined from the starting positions of race 1. Race 3 will be a reverse grid, 1 to 8 guaranteed reverse. Tonight, because of the field, it will be very short. I think it's 8 to 11. Is effectively who gets reversed. So it's going to be very, very short in terms of the reversal. Yeah, it's 8 to 11. It's 8 to 11. There's only 4 cars that will be reversed. So they want to be in that position 9 or as high as possible. Right, let's get down to the business end. Which one's that? So there's the calendar. We're right at the end. It's the 15th of the March. That is today. That is the last race of the season. That's where we are. That's where we're racing. That's where we're going. Right, over to Drivers' Championship. So Stu Neal's currently leading on 228 points. Same position he was last time out, last season. And he's carrying 80 kilograms on board. His nearest rival is now Benny Norton, who's currently 4th fastest, 70 kilograms on board, 219. George is 3rd fastest, 214 points, carrying 60 kilograms. The problem that George has this evening, or Shaw's, is that Shaw's has just been continuously rolling the car. I've seen him roll it about 4 times already this evening. So he is pushing the maximum. He's pushing to the extreme in that Seat Cupra, so that'll be interesting to see. Then we've got Markham and Ashbourne, both 4th and 5th. Butcher is 6th. T-Joke 7th. Is T-Joke in? Yeah, he's down in 7th position at the moment. Trebek is in 8th, and he's in 8th, funny, on the timing boards. Lawson's 9th. Lawson can technically still win this, but he needs the perfect score. He needs 20, 20, 20 if he wants to get anywhere near that championship winning position. Wilson's in 10th, Flack is 11th, Craig is 12th, Papa Dim's 13th. Elliott doesn't race anymore. Kane Alexander is sunning himself again in Tenerife. He's taken his victory last week out, and he says, "Thank you, lads, I'm not racing anymore." Craig's not racing. Kirby's still with us. He's down in 12th. He's got faster. Then you have Grassy no longer racing. Derek Neal, he's racing with us. Bill Campion, he's currently not racing. Dougie has decided to step out for tonight's race, predominantly because he's a bit concerned about his driving. He keeps rolling it, and he's worried about affecting the championship. Well-beloved raced once, never raced again. And then Curacan, I think he's going to race with us next season, and the Hog did 1 race, and that was it. In terms of the team's championship, that's how it stacks up. That's still all to play for. Team Hardley Racing is just only 6 points ahead of the Duesa boys. They might lose it this time out. That's going to be tricky. The Norfolk Racers, Off-Road Tarkin, Euro Motorsport, the Crazy Drivers. Then you're into the singles. The Crazy Driver is currently the fastest. That's T-Joke on his own, followed by Wilson. That's Jake Wilson. And then you have the Dugdale Trophy. So that's for anybody who has not had an outside win. So Benny Norton is currently leading that, 232 points. Trebek, 227 points. So those two will be battling each other. Trebek's in 8th. Norton's in 4th currently on the board. Flax in 3rd, Deeks is in 4th, Papa Dim's in 5th, Crave not racing, Campion will finish in 7th, he started 7th and will finish at 35. Grassy no longer racing, Derek Neal might pinch Campy on to the end. And then you've got everybody else, Kirby down there in 10. So there is still a battle to go in the Dugdales. And that's how it stacks up. Then we've got Racing at Home. As much as I'd like a longer qualifying, it's still 10 minutes. Yes, it's still a 10-minute qualifying. So there we go. Whoopsie daisies. George has closed that gap to 10/100ths of a second, but Jake is currently fastest out on track. There's Wilson. Lawson, sorry. He's currently in third on a 9/10 of a second. So the field is very, very close put together. The problem they're going to have is race 3, and that's where Neil really needs to get himself into the top 8. He needs to finish 8th. That's what he needs. He's going to need some help, Neil is, from some other drivers in the field, predominantly Trebek, Choke, Markham, maybe Papadim. He's in the middle. So there's going to he's really going to have to get some help from some other drivers if he's going to want to be able to basically progress through the field. At the moment, Shaw's is in the prime position. That'll give him 17 points. So if he gets 17, Neil down in 9th position would give himself, so we're trying to calculate this quite quickly, would give himself 7 points. So if it finished as it was now, and we're just going to take the assumptions that will be 7th, and George will finish in 2nd, he gets 17 points. Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. So it is all going to be about Neil's progress through the field this evening. He's going to need some luck, and he's going to need some help from the rest of the driving field if he wants to get further. Now, his teammate, Martin Kirby, is down in 13th. So currently he doesn't actually have a rear gunner to help him. Whereas George and Lawson, there's Lawson 3rd in the Seat Coupe. Wow, he rolls it. There's Ashbourne. He's currently going fastest in Sector 1. He's 6/10 of a second faster than Jake Wilson. So it could all be to play for here. So it could, at this particular moment, all flip and change. It's all going to be about the difference in points between George and Neil, really, in terms of where they're going to be. Because that would give Neil 6 points, but would drop George down to 15 points. So the gap would be bigger. It would be another point. So it's very, very tricky. What's Ashton do through Sector 2? Let's ride on board now with Ashbourne. Through the right-hander we go. This is the S's. Left and right, left and right. There's a good overtaking opportunity move coming up here. Down the little crest of the hill. Then you've got the right-left chicane, hard on the brakes. Lap is invalidated. Yeah, he's invalidated the lap, so that's why he's bailed out from that position. It's going to be tricky, really. It's really going to be tricky on what they're going to be able to do. Lawson's going faster, so he should pop this on pole position, which unfortunately is not what George wants, because if Jake's in the middle of these two, it's going to cause issues, basically. And that's where it's going to get tricky, because Lawson will go into 1st and George will go into 3rd. So even though Lawson should do the dirty here, really, he should get it, 144.905. It says it's 1/10 of a second on the board, but it's not coming up on the board. I think the lap was invalidated, so he was going to go through for a perfect sector. The lap comes invalidated. Best lap was 144.963. That's on the board. 144.963, 144. Yeah, it's on the board. The lap was invalidated. So with 30 seconds remaining of this practice session, that lap became invalidated. So it's going to be tricky. It's going to be really, really tricky now for where they're going to want to really finish and get into it. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a whole heap of mismatches going on the board here. Let's have a quick look to see if we can get something different. It's just having a moment. Let's have a look at this one. Ooh, that colour. There you go. Well, the practice session is over, and we're going to go into the opening session. I'm just pressing all the buttons while we're waiting for this to load itself up. What's that one do? Ooh, I like that one. but we're going to stick with what we've done always, which is the WTCR 2019. So here we go. Shaw's is straight out. He's going to start putting in a banker lap. You've got to put a banker lap in here. On a 140, you don't have the time to mess about. Let's ride on board here with Shaw's. He currently comes up on the board as second because that's where he was last time out. We're watching Neil. That's what's going to be important. Through the left-hander we go, hits the brakes. He's been rolling it through here, completely misses the apex, abandons the corner. Shaw's is going to go for it again. Here comes Jake Wilson, currently fastest in the opening practice session. Only by 1/100th of a second, so it wasn't enough. But if you're wondering, he does £1 per logo Wilson Racing. So I'm not quite sure. There you go. So it's going to get tricky. It's going to get really, really tricky. A lot of drivers now out on track, riding round. We're riding on board us, Martin Kirby. He is currently fastest in that sector. Where's Wilson? There's Wilson. They're all changing and changing. Let's stick with Auto Direct for now. That is Trebek's Motorsports. There he is, 23.702. So he's going to be fastest in that sector. We're looking for a 144 is what we're really doing. They keep stuttering a little bit, but that's because everybody's loading up. They're going to be going for their banker laps. That's what they need to do immediately. They need to put a banker lap in first. Following the banker lap, they then need to get ready. Go from there and then go for it. They're going to be light on fuel. This is over the crest of the hill. This is into a good overtaking opportunity. This is the right-left chicane that you get, bouncing across the curbs. You can run straight through there. He's going to come across through the right-hander we go. We're still on board with Trebek now. He's in a Renault Megane, number 34. Not a race winner. Nearly had one out this season. Down the brakes he goes. He's completely missed the apex. Does he curve it back in? He is. He's going to be first through that sector, so he will go purple. He's purple sector 1, he's purple sector 2. If he produces a 144, he's in with a shout. So he's done a 144.8. Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. Stu Neal's just gone fastest. He's on a 144.893. Don't think it's going to be good enough. Norton goes into second fastest. He's slower than Neal. Ashbourne goes into fourth. It's on Auto Direct, so it's flipping around. This is Markham. He's gone purple. He's gone green in sector 1 and green in sector 2. So he's faster than any other driver. Sorry, he's faster than his personal best, but he isn't the fastest driver in that sector. That's Neil. Neil's currently in first position. It's going to be hard for everyone to beat him from that position. Like I said, he's going to need a whole heap of luck here from other drivers in poor positions for him to be able to extract the maximum. Now, we don't know if they were running race pace during open qualifying, because a lot of the guys had been running at least 10 to 15 laps. And the problem with that is that we don't know if they were in race pace. Benny Norton's not really going fastest. There's Lawson. He's only green in sector 1 and green in sector 2. So he hasn't extracted the maximum out of the car yet. That's very, very... Does he get it? Does he cross the line? He's going to have to go for another lap. Yes, he goes fastest, but only by 7/1000ths of a second. It's not by a lot. So Neil is in a prime position. Where is Shaw's? Sector first to 1, 8/100ths of a second faster than anybody in sector 2. So he's up. He'll be in the mid 144s. That's what we're expecting. Does he get a good final sector? This is where it comes to. George needs to go. This man here in the 79, Sayat Kupra, needs to go as fast as he can, as quickly as he can. He takes the shortest line, will go fastest, but only by 100. That's not a lot. Where's Markham? Markham's fastest in sector 1 by 1/10 of a second. It's all about being brave. And as we ride on board now, you can see coming into the final hairpin down on that front camera, they're going to have to really pick their moment from here, because if they pick the wrong moment, they're going to be bang, bang, wallop. And that's the problem they've got, is from this sector, is what do they do going through? Kicks it up nice and trizzy. Doesn't he go fastest? No, he's 7th fastest. Papadim is 6th. Who are we missing on the board? Where's Jake Wilson? He's a second off pace. He's a nearly 1.1, but he's 8/100ths of a second up in sector 1. 5 minutes 11 remaining of this session. It's a 144 lap. Do the math at home. That is 3 laps at best. And at the moment, Neil is in where he needs to be to take the championship. He's run wide through there. That's going to be an invalidated lap, I suspect. I suspect that's going to be no way forward from there. It's going to get very, very tricky very, very soon. Lawson, I suspect, is going to play the team game. Here comes Wilson. He's going to come into the final sector, riding on board with him now. Through the right-hander, through the left-hander. He's 100th of a second off fastest time in that sector. He's 100th, but he's improved on his best lap. That's why it's a purple and a green. He's fast to sector 2-1. He is green in sector 2, so he's improved his personal best. But is it enough to get him into third or fourth position? Neil is doing a stellar job as it stands. He's in third. Shaw's can do no more. He crosses the line, 1:45 that'll be. Good enough for 7th, but not good enough to where he needs to be. Lawson's just gone faster than anybody. Lawson here might abandon the team game and just go for the fastest lap possible. That's what's going to be problematic for him. He's going to have to make a choice. Does he play the team game or does he just go for it? It's going to be very, very tricky. Here's Ashbourne, currently in 12th. He's fastest. They're all making time up in sector 1. So it seems to be sector 1 is where they're making time up. Sector 2 is going to be crucial. He's currently 12th fastest. Best lap, 1:45.519. The question is, can Ashbourne do anything? His teammate is in 8th position. He's 200th of a second up on his best time. So he'll go into a 140. He might hit a low 145. 145. Yeah, he's gone into 5th. So he's put in a 144.9. So it was a low, and it just makes no difference. Lawson's just going faster. But again, do not forget, Lawson is unballasted. At the moment, Lawson has no ballast on that car, so he is in the maximum championship winning position. He can actually do it, but he needs the perfect score and he needs Neil not to finish anywhere. The problem Lawson has, as he's currently pumping in the fastest laps above anybody, the problem Lawson will have is he's going to have to make a choice. At some point, he has to decide, is he playing the team game or is he playing the winning game? It's going to be very, very tricky as he goes through the final corner. Through the hairpin, keeps it nice and tidy. This should be fastest. He should go into a 144. It's going to be a 144.3, I suspect, when he crosses the line. We don't know how much fuel is on board. 144.3. Yep, bang on the money. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So he's got to get the perfect score, which he should do because he's unballasted. He's 20, 20, and 20, and he needs 3 fastest laps and thing. But if Stu Neal scores 15 points, Phil Lawson cannot win the championship. Same goes for George, he's a little bit more. Benny Norton's also in a shout with the championship in 4th. But it's all going to be about where those 2nd, 3rd and 4th people finish. This is Craig Deek, so he's going fastest. He's got a green sector 1, green sector 2. If you're new to motor racing, this is it. This is going to be the last lap, effectively, in a 144. If they're not out on the track, they're not going to be going faster. He doesn't go any faster. He stays in 12th. Shaw's is not going any faster, so he hasn't gone faster since sector 1. Trebek has gone into 3rd and he's abandoned the run, so he's popped himself into 3rd, but Neil's in 4th and Shaw's is in 2nd. Flack is improving on his own time. He's 300th of a second up as he comes round into sector 2. You've got a hairpin riding on board now. There's a hairpin at this sector. What was that number there, isn't it? This is it's not a hairpin. It goes right, then it breaks, then it goes right, and he's going to run wide, and that will be lap invalidated. He's gone off into the kitty litter, so that's lap invalidated. That's going to be nothing new from there. What Shaw's doing, he's not really doing anything at the moment. He's in 2nd position is what he needs. Lawson has got 1st as it currently stands, which is 20 points. Then it's 17 and 13 if it finishes as it starts. Trebek is on 15 points. So Trebek is an outside chance, but I don't think he's really going to be able to do anything. But he needs to extract the maximum for his points. And that's how it stacks up. Everyone else is kind of on the board. T-Joke's in 9th and Poddy's in 10th. So Lawson is coming up as class position. Not really sure why. Is it in the base one? Yeah, it's in there. We go. So as it stands, Lawson's first, George is second, Trebek is third, Neil is doing a stellar job in fourth, Norton is fifth, Ashbourne sixth, Markham seventh, Poddy Flack is eighth, Wilson is ninth, T-Joke is 10th, Deeks is 11th, Butcher is 12th, Kirby's 13th, and Neil brings up the back of the field. So as it stands, Lawson will gain a point for fastest lap. So it puts him on 184. So we'll try and keep you updated all the way through. But this is it. This is it. Race 1, or round 22. So this is the one but penultimate race. Go figure that one out. All the drivers will get ready. They'll all be revving themselves up. 46 seconds to go. The main battle is between the top four. It's going to be, top five. It's going to be Lawson, George, he's Yusa, he's in the thingy. You've then got a Renault Megane, which is in the mix. Trebek is in the mix. Neil needs to get on the blower to Trebek and go in, please let me through. I need you to be my rear gunner. I need help. And then you've got Benny Norton, but Benny Norton has no rear gunner. So they're all on their own. Here we go. All the lights are getting ready. They're all going to rev up the engines. Lights will be flashing. We will see who is going to get away. Is it going to be a perfect start for Neil? Hold on to your horses, and it's go, go, go. And it's a perfect start for Neil. He's managed to get himself and hold into fourth position. And look at the front. There are the two teammates side by side. Do they crash into each other? Everybody's breaking into turn one, keeping it nice and tidy. Ooh, is Neil gone wide? Neil's being very, very careful as we ride from the rear camera. This is first man, and look, there is 34, there is 79, that's second and third. Neil is properly putting the power on. Neil has got into third position. In the background, there's a mistake there from the team, and T-Joke has run wide. He's disappeared into the corner as they all struggle themselves. But this is the battle in the midfield as it currently rages on. Neil is in third and he's making an attack, but this is Poddy on the right side. Poddy has made contact with the back of Ashbourne. I cannot believe it. Ashbourne has been spun round and round he goes. Trebek and Neil are side by side. Neil is needing to play the long game here. And he's gone up the inside. Does he get the job done? Yes, he does. Fantastic there from Neil. Now, Neil has to do and maintain that position because Lawson is going to be the rear gunner. And you can see already, this is Lawson. He's in second position. And behind that, there is Neil in the 99. Behind that is Simon Trebek. He's in the 34. And the problem that this man has, we're riding on board with now, the problem this man has is that he is going to be blocked by that man ahead. So that's the problem, and he's going to push him right into the clutches of Trebek. There is Trebek in the 34. He's trying to go up the inside to the hairpin, thinks better of it, slows the car down. It is all to play for. Like I said, this man here in third position, boom, there he is. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top championship contenders. They all need to start working together. Well, third and fourth do first and second. They've got a game plan, and they are perfectly executing it. 12 minutes 57 to go. Lawson there on the slow, but I think that's purposely to slow down the car in front. He's absolutely doing everything he needs to do. The question is he going to hold on to it? Is he going to be able to do what he needs to do? It's all over the board here through the fifth corner, and you can see once again riding from the cockpit view of Trebek. He's in the 34. There is Neil. They need to be careful through this sector. He's sold it up the inside, but Neil, a wily old fox there, leaves the door wide open and says, if you want to run out wide, I'm coming through. And there goes Benny Norton in the 69. Benny Norton now is going to go up the inside of both of them, and does he take it? No, he doesn't. Hard on the brakes, riding from the rear view camera. This is fourth place, Benny Norton. He's now got Trebek right up his chaff, and behind that, there is Aaron Markham, but Neil's in third place. He can do no more because George in first and Lawson in second. They're working together. Neil's on his own. He's literally hanging out to dry, and he needs Norton not to push him, not to do anything silly. It's 11 minutes 48. Oh, he's run across the curbs. Neil has run across the curbs, but he's defending. He's almost gone to the book of Poddy and Butcher. That's how he's defending. He's being hard but fair. That experience he's had through the season of racing with those two is really paying dividends. Look at him, he's being really tough, closing that door solidly shut. He's going to have to send them a postcard at some point, but there he is in third position. In fourth is Benny Norton, riding on board with Trebek. I am keeping an eye on the rest of the board. Butcher's in 8th, T-Joke's in 10th, 9th, Deeks is in 10th, Wilson's 11th, Neil is 12th, Kirby's 13th, Ashbourne's 14th. But this is where it is. The championship rivals are all fighting each other out. 11 minutes and 2 seconds to go. And look, whoa, he's put it on 2 wheels. Has he managed to keep the wheels pointing in the right direction? Yes, he has. Sensational there. Absolutely sensational. Lawson doing what he does best at the moment. He did the same with Clough in the season before. He's purposely not driving as fast as he can. But the problem with that is tyres will lose temperature. He will just start to slowly go backwards and backwards. And he's helping Neil. The ironic part is, by helping Neil, he's helping him save his tyres. Right, Poddy, Flack and Butcher. There's Butcher in the 26. I am watching an eye on the lead battle. There's T-Joke. These two were in loggerheads. Whatever it was, I've forgotten it was. They're once again side by side through this section of the race, keeping it nice and tidy. Through the left, right they go. Can they hold on to the position? Yes, yes he can. As you see now, T-Joke, he's the only one running that larder, and he absolutely hates that thing, I think. But he's going to try and go for the overtake. Yes, he is. He's trying to sell him a dummy, but it's not really working. Through the right-hander we go. Nice to keep it nice and tidy. We leave that battle and rejoin the battle for 4th and 5th. So in 4th position is Benny Norton in the 69. Then you've got Simon Trebek in the Renault Megane 34. You've got Sayat. Then you have Renault Megane followed by whatever that thing is. It's an Alfa Romeo, and that's the battle for 3rd and 4th. Norton and Trebek once again trading positions. As a little bit of a dab of the brakes as they go up the crest of the hill. Oh, he's lost the rear end! He's lost the rear end! He's managed to hold on to it. Trebek having a big brown trouser moment. He's absolutely held it perfectly, but that's once again released. Neil in 3rd position, and we're riding on board now with Benny Norton down to the front view camera, and there you can see there's Neil, and there is Trebek. He's absolutely sliding it all over the road as he's holding on to that position. Can he do anything? Can he do anything from here, from the rear camera? Look at the front of that Alfa Romeo, very second hand, or it's rusting, we just don't know. We're on board with 4th position. Behind that in the 69, that is Benny Norton. He's also fighting for the championship. So they're going to defend for every piece of the tarmac as they can. At the moment, as it stands, Lawson is doing an absolutely stellar job of protecting his teammate George, and he can do no more. He's going to sacrifice. The problem is he's going to sacrifice fastest lap. He's trying to give as much as he can to George as possible. Right, we leave that battle and rejoin the battle at the back. There's Jake Wilson. This is 11th and 12th. In 11th position is Jake Wilson, left side the 68. The 19, boom, is the Hyundai. This seems to be the battleground of the long wheelbase cars. They're all sat together. Derek Neal taking a very different line through there, but he'll get a slow down penalty. T-Joke now has on the rear camera that he's gone defensive immediately. Lada Sports gone defensive. Lada versus Hyundai versus Chinese Volvo, and he's run wide, and that's allowed Wilson to go up the inside of the number 19. Has he managed to get it done? He gives him a bit of a door bang, and as a result, Deke goes, well, if you're banging my door, I'm going to bang your door. Bing, bang, bong. They've bashed into each other. It's reset all over again. Jake Wilson was fastest in open practice, and now he's not. He's just in the middle of the field. In the background, you can see Ashbourne and Neil also fighting each other, but this is the battle in the middle. Lawson is currently 0.6 of a second ahead of Neil. Neil is 0.3 ahead of Trebek. I am watching that battle, but at the moment we are watching the battle for 9th, 10th and 11th. It is 9th, 10th and 11th. It's T-Joke versus Deeks versus Wilson. Absolutely love that car. That's the third one. Through the right-hander we go. Whoa! Deeks slows down a little bit of a corner there, and as we ride on board with Jake Wilson now, he's going to get a lovely run. That top gear of the Lincoln Co. That's who we're riding on board with. Only Lincoln Co. currently. Jake Wilson is a race winner, don't forget. Craig Steek isn't. T-Joke isn't this season. They've all run wide. It looks like he can extend the track there. So they've been very lucky. Through the left, right-hander they go, holding onto this, bouncing across the curves, keeping it nice and tidy. Bang, bang, bang. Through the left, absolutely sensational. Down to the front of the camera. You can see here, and just as we've cut to him, the commentator's cursor strike. Right, Trebek is now right on the rear end. He's got a good run on Stu Neal. But is Stu going to let him into that position? Stu is going to defend for all he's worth. He's going to take the long way round, but he's going to keep it up the inside. This is what he needs to do. He just hasn't had the drive. He's just not had the drive off the line. That 80 kilograms on board is properly hurting him now. It's starting to really, really suffer in the tyres. But the problem that Trebek has, who's in third, is that he often has issues in terms of keeping the car on the road. Behind Markham is sixth, so the lowest position at the moment, I believe, that Neil will fall to will be sixth position. So it's going to be very, very tricky from here. He's doing all he can do no more. Lawson at the front is doing all he can because he's purposely building the gap between first and second, which is his teammate, don't forget, so he doesn't interfere with that race. Well, he did. He actually did exactly what he did when he raced Cloughy. Raced with Cloughy. He was the blocker. But this is Neil. He's currently in third, and he's just, his times are just not there at the moment. 1:46s. But he always knew he was going to have that problem. He even said that in a conversation I had with him. He said he's just going to struggle. The ballast is going to hurt him. It was the same situation that we had at Donington Park last year. It just hurt him. It really hurt him in terms of points and prizes. So he's got to really start to push now. He needs to start pushing as fast and as quickly as he can. He needs Trebek really to let him through, but Trebek is after a podium position. And that's the problem they've got, is that they're all fighting for a championship somewhere. And they're all going to want to get ahead of anybody else. Benny Norton, there he is in fifth position. He's going to go up. He's not going to get round there. He's tried to sell him a dummy. He's outbraked himself into that corner. Has he managed to get him through? Yeah, he has. Neil left the door a little bit open there. The problem is Neil is now, he's looking, staring down the barrel of a sixth position. Leave that battle at the moment. You've got Kirby and Neil at the background, each fighting for positions. There's Martin Kirby. His teammate is currently running fifth at the moment. And there is number 7, Derek Neal, his KA Developments. There he is in 13th position. Those two have been battling each other for the entire race, 3 minutes 58 to go. So it's going to get very, very tricky in terms of where they're going to be through the right-hander. A little bit slow in that corner, keeps it nice and tidy. Right, this is the battle for 9th, 10th and 11th. Deeks has run wide, he's in the 19. Jake Wilson's going to sail it up the inside, takes that, and there's Ashbourne, who just mugs the lot of them. He says, well, I'm mugging the lot of you. If you're going to be busy squabbling, I've taken fantastic stuff. And there is Jake Wilson in the 68. There's the 28. That is Simon Ashbourne. Sparks flying. Ashbourne's on the right side. There is Wilson on the left side as we ride on the driver camera view now. This is Wilson. Don't know what's going on with that view. Ashbourne should get the job done. He should outbrake himself, keep it nice and tidy. No heroics. Says thank you very much. Turns the car to the right and ticks that box basically. He says, yep, I'm checking myself out. And through the left, right he goes. Right, the battle of Butcher and T-Joke. These two have basically been partners for the entire of the season. This is 9th and 10th respectively. Stu Neal is now on the back of Benny Norton, so we'll keep an eye on that board as it develops. But so I think Neal might be able to get back into 4th position because that little Alpha struggled with its tyres, and Ashbourne and Neil in 5th has probably been saving them, but we're riding on board with 9th position now. Wilson's also attacking the back of Ashbourne into the hairpin. That's going to be a very tricky manoeuvre through there. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Right, Neil is right on the rear chuff now of Benny Norton. I think Benny Norton's tyres have completely gone. Yes, they have. Or he's broken the car. Has he broken the car? We need to get on board. Where's Benny Norton? Let's count the wheels. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wheels on the wagon. Let's look at the wheel. Yes, he's broken it. He's absolutely munched the car. Neil has to keep going. Come on, Neil, you can do this. Neil's in 5th position. He's the 99. He's in 5th position. He needs 4th. He just has to pick his move because that little Alfa Romeo is damaged. It's either tyres or He's absolutely cuffed the wheel and it's not pointing in the right direction. Neil can do this. He just needs to be careful. Pick his moments. There'll be one more lap to go. There is first and second, Lawson and Trebek. Trebek has really closed the gap to the back of Lawson, but Lawson's the rear gunner here. Neil has to pick his move. He needs Aaron to help him. The man behind needs to push him along. But this is where, riding on board now with Neil needs to keep it nice and tidy through the final sector. He will be slower due to the weight of the car. There's Ashbourne. Ashbourne's going to attempt to go up the inside. Contact there between the two. But this is it. Come on, Simon. You can do this. It's not Simon, it's Stu Neil. Neil here should be able to sail it up the inside. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? Is he going to be able to do this? Ashbourne's gone wide. He slowed the car down. He won't get through there because Neil saw that come in, closed the door. Got a little bit of a helpful bump there from Neil, from Markham. So this is it. Neil is on now. He's made that weight. He's really struggling in the car. But he's going to have to pick and choose. Does he hold on to sixth position, fifth, or does he go for sixth? He slid it up the inside. Markham there keeping it and dropping it into the back. They're all a bit slow in this section at the moment. We're riding now from the rear view camera of Norton, Wilson, Butcher and Geeks. I'm watching that battle as well. But there's the man, fifth place. He needs fifth position. He needs to defend for all it's worth. He's going to go into the inside there. They need to let that position back, really. Good racing there. Neil has allowed, so Markham basically braked there and gave the position back to Neil. I think the gap was a little bit too wide, but I don't think Neil's really going to do it. I think that was Neil's saving grace into fifth position. That little mistake there from Aaron, and that's what he needs. Neil here doesn't need to be heroic. He just needs to get the points. He needs to bring the car home. That's what he needs to do. He's run wide through that corner, but he needs to make sure he gets a good exit or goes immediately defensive. That's what he needs to do. The defence is what he needs to do. Because without that defence, it's really going to struggle bouncing across the curbs there. Russ Butcher, slow down penalty. This is where he needs to close the door. He left the door wide open again. He needs to shut that door closed. He'll go through there, holds on to the position. And now he needs to go defensive. He needs to think about a defensive manoeuvre here. He can't leave that door open, which he's done again. You need to go defensive. Perfect. A little bit of contact between the two there. And as he's closed the door, Markham's car is absolutely, I think it's teetotaled. Yeah, there's a car. Slow down on the final penalty. Neil will come home in fifth position. But George will take the race victory. Lawson flips it on the car. They're all flipping it. Lawson's in second, Trebek is third, Norton is fourth, Neil is in fifth position as he holds on to it. Then you've got Poddy Flack in sixth, T-Joke is in seventh, Butcher's in eighth, Ashbourne's ninth, Wilson's in 10th, Kirby is in 11th, Deeks in 12th, and the other Neil is in 13th, with Aaron Markham getting a DNF. And that's how it currently stands at the end of race one. So there is confirmation. Lawson takes fastest lap. Lawson takes fastest lap. Is that going to be the ultimate decider there? Is that really... That's going to give him 19 points, puts him on 202. So he's really going to have to be careful here in terms of what he has got. Right. As it is going, we will go across to the spinning wheel while that sorts itself out. So I think the camera's in completely the wrong place because I forgot to put it there. Yep, so that is my, that's whatever that is. Yeah, so as always, we are live and I completely forgot to do the camera. Ah, well. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Right, we're going to do the wheel of spinning and see where the wheel spins to. Right, let's have what is happening as we spin the wheel. And then from the wheel spinner, we will see where we go. It looks like I have to spin the wheel. There we go. And where does it finish? It's going to finish on car 9. Is it 9? Yes. It is car 9. We are reversing. We are reversing at car 9. That's where we are reversing. So we're going to reverse at car 9. Which I have no idea who that is. I have to type that in here because, as always, it is... I don't want to do that because you will see my chat. But yeah, so it's car 9. Right, let's go across to the drivers and let's have a look at where we are. So as we go across into the drivers, this will be one of the last drivers. Hello, everybody. How are you?
I'm good.
Better.
I'm good.
I was happy after practice. Can we just set quality after
You
practice
were very
now?
fast in practice. Right, it's reversed at car 9. That's where we are reversing.
Great.
So I have
That's
no
even
idea who that is.
worse.
Who's that?
Oh, that was me.
Are you car
For
9?
goodness sake!
Well, you are on pole position for race 3.
Well, it's not going to do me any good because I don't know where my pace has gone. I was doing okay in practice, but no, that was an awful race. I had a half decent start, not brilliant, but I got shunted side to side in one corner, and then that put me into the dirt, and I had a slowdown. So I tried to lift and take the slowdown, and someone hit me at the back end and spun me around, and that was it.
And that was that.
Last then.
The thing is, though, we were talking about this, and the thing is that because it's the final race of the season, or the final 3 races of the season, it's almost like because we don't have to fix it, we just bend it.
I have to fix it anyway.
Well, I know.
Anyway.
I'm using the analogy. You have to use your
just hit the
electricity.
reset
You have to use
button.
your electricity to fix it. Let's put it that way. So let's just go through that first. Let's just talk to yourself first, Jake. Fantastic practice session. Absolutely on the limit.
I know. It was great.
What happened in qualifying? I got to ask.
I just didn't hook a lap up. Like, I had one lap where I kind of okay, and then on that lap I made a mistake at the tight chicane, and I just never hooked a lap up. And then being in the pack, you just struggle to move forwards. If anything, you move backwards. And then on that last lap, I was on the outside. I had a great run on Butcher, and I saw a Hyundai in the wall on my rear view mirrors. And I thought, what? Did I hit him? And then for a moment, then I realised, wait, it can't be Butcher because I was on his outside.
So was that the other Hyundai, Craig Deeks?
I don't know what happened to Deeks, to be honest. I actually messaged him trying to find out that. And then I accidentally let Ashford through, which has ruined 2 races. Great.
It's one of those, really, isn't it?
I have had better races. I have had better qualifying sessions.
But it's it's one of those. I mean, to be perfectly honest, through what the last 2-3 weeks, you specifically going, I don't really like this race. I don't really want to race here. So it's to be fair on that respect, it's actually turned out that you've predicted this correctly.
Yes, but I don't like that I predicted it correctly. I like to be wrong sometimes. Actually, I say that Most was a nice track, and I just messed up qualifying there. It was a really nice car to drive at Moss.
Oh, is it?
And then I kind of I say I threw away race 3. I gained race 3 through something I'm never going to do again, and I just threw that one away. Anyway.
It's one of those things, really. One of those things.
I just had to have a mental reset in the middle of that race, and that's where I just caught them back up again. I realised, oh yeah, I'm actually faster than these guys. I can beat them. Annoyingly, that Hyundai is annoyingly difficult to park. I had a great move on Butcher in that chicane. I just left it. I was too nice to him in that chicane at the end of the first sector.
Oh, mate.
I let him go back around the outside.
You've got to see my overtake on you and Russ.
I know.
Oh, it was unbelievable. You were fighting
I
into that
hated it.
hander, and I just nicked up the inside and took the pair of you on one corner. And then at the end of the lap,
I was too nice to you in the carousel as well.
And then at the end of the lap, I stuffed it in the wall all by myself and let you back through.
I told you.
Why do we even bother?
I told you. You don't
ridiculous.
because you don't have to fix it. You're not worried about it. You go, nah.
You still beat me. You smashed it in the wall, and you still somehow beat me. To be fair, I went through that chicane at the end of the type on the WTCC layout twice. I thought, all right, fair enough.
I went through 3 stationary cars on the last lap and gained 3 places. Otherwise, that was a nowhere race for me. I think I managed to recover 12th somehow. 9th, sorry.
I'd like you through the hairpin with Markham on the inside as well.
Yeah, I know.
One of those things, as always. So, race 2, so quickly,
have to
because
go around, yeah.
there's only
I hate this.
There's
I
only
hate
2
this.
minutes to
Moving into
go.
retirement.
Race 2.
Phil Wilson has the right idea.
Race 2 for yourself, Simon, is this just going to be looking to get as much recovery through race 2 as possible, score some more points? It's the last one now, so I think the teams might have been out your grasp.
Yeah, we've lost that now because Aaron was in the wall at the end of that lap as well. So I don't know what happened to him, but I'm sure we'll figure it out later. Yeah. But I just drove past him at the end. He just sat there. I think his engine had gone because he was in the barriers.
He must have hit those tyre barriers on the inside of the wall. He should have just Ross Chastained it on the last lap.
Right.
I had tested that. It damages your suspension, but you gain a second.
Right.
2 minutes. There's 2 minutes to get back in.
There's 2 minutes. You're not in there. Yeah, I'd recommend getting in. Right, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you all for race 2, which I suspect will be just as action packed as race 1.
You predicted race 3 would be mayhem, and race 1 wasn't much fun for me, mate.
Gloves are off. Gloves are off. It's the same every season. Every season, we get to the final race of the season, and it seems to be everyone goes, meh, it's the last race of the season. Let's just go mad.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same in everything.
I'm too nice to people.
It's the same in everything that I've ever watched in any motorsport, ever. They go, oh, it's race 3. It's the last rate meeting. We'll go nuts. I am expecting someone to roll it at some point. Right, I'm going to let you go. Good luck for the penultimate race of season 4, and I will talk to you.
I'll win from 9th. I'll just get a great start and win from 9th. It's not
go for it. Just go for it. Good luck. As always, as I always say, there is always multiple, I'm trying to find, is it that one? I can't remember. There's always multiple angles that will always be looked at, and always lots and lots of talking points, and always lots of different viewpoints, as always. So the idea is that you just got to remember that's what it is. Right, but we're across to the penultimate race. We've lost another driver. As always, I'm expecting us to finish about 13th, 14 to 15 drivers. I suspect that's where we will finish for the rest of the season. And then we will go from there. And we will have a look. So, only 14 in. I can't know who's missing, but there we go. Race 3 will swap at position 9, which will be very, very interesting. Neil, sure, he's going to be, that's his best opportunity, I think, to start racking up points. Because as it currently, there's still quite a bit in it, though. It's still quite a bit in this, so it's Lawson versus Neil, basically. Sorry, it's Neil versus Shaw's. That's what we're looking at. So he needs to get another good haul of points here, Neil does. He needs to pass Norton. That's what he should really strive to do, is pass Benny Norton. And go from that position. Trebek, I think, needs to get past. If Trebek can clear Lawson, he can win the race. And that's where it's going to get very, very interesting. And that's where it's going to get very, very tricky, especially for... it's somewhere around here. So the lights are flashing. Here we go for the penultimate round of the Season 4 of the Touring Car Sim Racing League from the Sonoma Raceway. 15 minutes. And then we've got another 15 minutes. And it's go, go, go. It's lights out. And who is at the perfect start? Look at Trebek. Trebek has had a fantastic start into turn 1. That's what he needed to do. He's going to go right into the mix between the two drivers who are fighting for the championship. Boom! Can he go into victory? This is Trebek. He is in the little Renault Megane. There he is, second in the picture. In the back, there's still a melee of cars trying to sort themselves out. But Lawson now has to get the hammer down because Trebek should clear the car ahead. It's only a matter of time. Lawson, there he is in third position. Behind that is Benny Norton in the 69. Behind that is Neil in fifth. And holding right behind him is Poddy Flack. Behind that is Tijo, Poddy Flack, and Neil have had incidents in the past. There's going to be no love lost between those two, and no letting it pass. but look at Trebek. He's all over the back of Shaw's at the moment. Shaw's is in the 79. He's the car in front. Trebek is the 34, the car behind. Behind that is Lawson. Lawson, you can see there, has stepped up his game because Lawson needs to get into second position. Right, T-Joke is on the back of the body flag, riding on board. This is 7th place man just ahead of him. There is 6th place man. This is 7th, there is 6th. There is Neil, championship leader, still on the points. Banks is on the curve, Banks is across the curve. He needs to keep all 4 wheels on the road. There's Trebek, he's right up the rear end of George. There's George, he's sold him a dummy. He's gone for the dummy, he's going to go around the outside. Can he get it done? Can he hold on to this? No. Has he left the door open? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. He's going to run wide. No, he hasn't. These 3 are playing into the hands of Stu Neal. Look at Trebek. He's now got Lawson right up his rear camera. Here is the front view camera of George. He's in first. There's second and third. Lawson is really going to have to hammer it home if he wants to do anything here. George really suffers coming up the corner, up the top of the hill. That's where Neal, currently in 5th position, is so strong. Neal needs this Renault Megane to get past this man here. He needs that help. This is the battle for first and second. In first is Shaw's 79, the white car. Behind that is the 34, and that is Simon Trebek. He has no ballast, and this is the key. Trebek, he is absolutely doing all he needs to do now. He wants a race victory. Lawson, who's in 3rd position, there he is, robbed him of that opportunity in another race. But the thing Lawson has, or the biggest problem Lawson has, is that if he can't really join the melee, he can't really do anything silly, because if he puts himself out, if he makes a mistake, if he runs wide just like that, Benny Norton is going to strike from an early position. And Neal now is dropping body flag. Neal is dragging himself along. There is Neal. Right, Wilson has got past Markham. There's Markham in the 96. He was at the back of the field. He had that. There was that coming together in race 1 in the final turn, and that's really happened. Trebek is by Shaw's again. He's right up the rear camera side from the rear view camera. Shaw's is gonna have to go defensive. He doesn't have the opportunity not to go defensive, because if he doesn't, it's going to cost him. And there's there is Lawson trying to seal it up the inside, and that's allowed Benny Norton to join the party. So the problem Lawson has, the problem George has, is that he has a car between him and his teammate. There is Lawson riding on board. He's in 3rd position, just ahead of him. That is 2nd and 1st, all driving, trying to get positions. Oh, that Renault Megane is really starting to turn and really starting to squeal. There is the championship leader still in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th position. There is Benny Norton. He's joined the back of this melee. So at the moment, Shaw's is the blocker for basically the entire field. He is blocking everybody up as it currently stands. Through the right hand we go as we ride on board now with Trebek. He's in 2nd position. Renault Megane hasn't won a race. The man in front has won 1 race of the season. That's all he's done, and that was the season opener. That's where Stu Neal also won. From then they've been carrying maximum ballast. Through the right hand we go. You can see Lawson there. This Renault Megane is doing all he can, riding from the rear view camera. Right, Butcher and Ashbourne are fighting each other in 9th and 10th position as well. But this is first. There's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Championship leader is in 5th position. He's kind of stuck in 5th at the moment. He needs somebody to get past this man here. There is Lawson. Lawson's going to attempt to go up the inside, but Trebek is going to really push him wide. He'll give him just enough room. He'll say, you're not coming through. Reset all over again. And Lawson here is now attacking the car ahead. So the car ahead, which is to the right side, that is Trebek. Trebek is doing all he can. He's going to have to close that door. So he's driving defensively and attacking. But the problem is, Lawson's going for that little Megane in the wrong part of the track. And George at the front is absolutely slowing the field down. Oh, Lawson's run wide. Lawson's completely cooked it into that corner, and that's offset everybody. And as a result, Trebek's made a mistake. Trebek made 1 mistake, and that's now put teammates 1 and 2. Stu Neal now, he's in this melee. There he is, he's in 5th position, riding on board with him now. He's in 5th, there is 4th and 3rd. And this is going to get tasty from this position. Neal, I think, is 9, sorry, Alfa Romeo. You've got 3 different manufacturers all vying for championship battles, all championship for the lead. And there is Lawson. We are riding on board now from the rear view camera. Benny Lawson. He's in 4th, there is 5th. There's Body Flack, that is the teammate to the man ahead. It's all no love lost between those two, and that's really not what Neil wants. Neil really needs a rear gunner at this moment to help him out, to offer him that support, to be the rear gunner, but he hasn't got it. And this is really hampering his championship rival, championship hopes at this current moment. What Neil needs right now is a Poddy or a Butcher. That's what he needs in his team right now, because they will be the rear gunner. They are the best defenders in the league. And that's what Neil needs right now. The problem Neil has is he doesn't have that. He's all on his own. He's basically just in the melee on his own, and he's really going to suffer here because Benny is going to start playing the team game. He's going to go, I can't really get ahead of the man ahead. So what I'm going to do is back up Neil into Poddy and get Poddy to overtake him. And that's what they might do. And that's where it's going to be really, really close. So Neil is finding himself all out in no man's land at the moment. And he's going to struggle, but he is faster through this sector. And in sector 1, Neil is just faster. Right, Trebek's in 3rd. Trebek hasn't given up the opportunity. He's at 7 minutes gone. 7 minutes remaining. 7:14. Well, missing a minute, but never mind. Through the right-hander, down the gearbox we go into 3rd. Keeps it nice and tight. Lawson once again being the roadblocker for his teammate. He's purposely parking that car perfectly in a defensive position, and he's causing all sorts of trouble for everybody else. A little bit of a tab of the brakes there as they come through the left-hander. This is where Neil at 5 minutes, I think Neil is saving his tyres. He's in 5th position. There he is. Lawson riding on the rear view camera now. Lawson, he's in 2nd position. This is a Seat Cupra ahead of behind him. That's 3rd position. That's Simon Trebek riding on board. Will he get a double podium this time out? Or will it be a single podium from the left-hander? The right-hander will go. Then the left-hander is keeping it nice and tidy here. Bouncing across the curve. No heroics. Can he do anything? Can he hold on to anything here? Down the gearbox he goes. 5th, 4th, 3rd, into 2nd, into 1st, through the left right-hander. These both cars, 2nd and 1st, are 2nd and 3rd, sorry, are unballasted. As you can see there, the battle is heating up. The rest of the field now is kind of spread out. Butcher's down in 9th, Peaks is in 8th, T Jones is in 4th. T Jones really hasn't materialised, but this is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. There's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th, all nose to tail for the championship decider. Ballast has all been put together, and like I said, the problem they're going to have is where is their teammates. There's Poddy right at the back of Neil now. Poddy there riding on board now. He's in the number 6 through the left. Wide, he outbrakes himself. Does have to do a little bit of a manoeuvre there, so not collect the rear end of Neil. Martin Kirby's on the back of Derek Neil as they go side by side up the hill. This is a very dangerous, and they both follow each other, run wide, and have to hit the brakes. Trebek is on the back of Lawson. That's 2nd and 3rd. We're keeping an eye on that battle. We're going to leave that battle and rejoin the battle for 2nd and 3rd, trying to hold on. This is the best of them. This is the bridesmaid position. There's the bride, there's the groom, there's the bridesmaid. All 1st, 2nd and 3rd. These are the medal winning positions. There's Norton in that 4th position, and he's really holding on to it. He's there, but he knows that he's got safety from the man behind, and he's got his rear gunner currently in 6th position, and Poddy doesn't need to overtake Neil. He doesn't need to overtake him. All he has to do is keep him under pressure. That is all this man has to do. If he keeps him under pressure, if he just keeps badgering him without actually overtaking him, Neil will slow himself down, and that is key to Benny Norton scoring as many points as he needs. And that's the problem. That's the problem the man ahead that we're riding from the rear view camera now has. Is he just doesn't have a rear gunner with him at this particular moment. If his rear gunner was Poddy or Butcher, two great defenders of the league, I do think Neil would be an absolutely sensation. He'd be driving like no drive in terms of his raw pace, but because he's having to keep his mirrors full of a car behind, he's basically just swarming. He's just slowing himself down. He's all the way down in the 146s now. Everyone else pumping out the 145s. That's the problem. Right, behind that you've got Butcher and Craig Deeks with Aaron Markham fighting each other. Trebek is still trying to get Lawson at the front, holding on to that position through the right-hander. Just doesn't really do anything. There's Trebek. There's Benny Lawson. Really, really holding on to it. Really, really delivering all he needs to do there from that position. Lawson is doing, basically Lawson is sacrificing the championship, his championship, in order to protect George's championship, the man who's currently leading. That is teammate 101 right there. Right, Craig Deeks is on the back of T-Joke, so these are the first of the long wheelbase cars. In the background there is Poddy, so Poddy's run off the road somewhere in all of that, and that's now Neil up to go after the cars ahead. What he has to be careful of is that these two don't end up dragging themselves along. We're riding on board now with Craig Deeks. He's fighting the man ahead. The man ahead is in a 6th position. That's T-Joke. Crazy drivers as they go down into the hairpin. 5th, 4th, 3rd into 2nd. Flick the car to the right, flick the car to the left as we ride over the rear camera. You can see absolutely sensational move there. Manages to keep full wheels on his wagon and all the wheels are pointing in the right direction. I think it's all settled itself down now. Trebek, Neil is Norton could get past Trebek. I don't think that's going to be a very tricky maneuver. Trebek is doing all he can to hold on to the last of the championship positions. He wants to do as much as he can to be able to deliver and get as much as points as he can. Trebek there was, I think he must have cooked his tyres. He must have done something because he was absolutely on mighty form as it currently stands. Right, Craig Deeks and T-Joke, these two, there always seems to be a bright yellow larder attached to a Hyundai somewhere. That is Craig Deeks. We're riding on board with him now. He's in 7th, in 6th position. That is the larder down into the right-hander, down the gearbox, 5th, 4th, 3rd into 2nd. Keeps it nice and tidy, builds up that speed again as we go over the crest of the hill, and then we go down into that long left-hander. This is a very tricky position. You have to make sure you don't have a bit of a side swipe. T-Joke's run a bit wide there. He's managed to hold it, nip it back in for the apex, and he rides that power 100%. Markham and Butcher are battling each other. Lawson has now made a gap to Trebek. There is Markham. Markham. He's in 10th. He's battling over Hyundai. There is Jake Wilson right at the back. They're all nose to tail. How far can Markham progress from this position? There is Poddy. Poddy's all on his own. So Norton, but Poddy's done his job. Poddy there in 8th position has done his job. This is Trebek and Norton. This is the last of the podium positions. We're riding on board now with Ben Norton. He's in an Alfa Romeo, don't forget. Not a race winner. The man ahead, guess what he is in? A race winner. And right now, these two are locked in battle head for the Doug Dale Trophy, so they might not be able to take the championship now, but they are fighting each other for the last of that podium position, that last of that opportunity, that last of prizes. There's 1 lap to go of the penultimate race of the season. Right, Martin Kirby is right up at the back of Ashbourne. There's Kirby, he's in 13th position. Riding on board now with Kirby. There is Ashbourne. Ashbourne's right just ahead of him. You would think that they were in the same car of the same livery. It is, but they've got different numbers. There they are. Can't tell them apart. Different teammates, don't forget. Kirby is on the Nero Spoke Motorsport, and Ashbourne is with some team Team Hardley Racing. As they all try to do what they can from this position, as they all hold themselves steadfast on the last lap. Poddy Flack is once again the huge block of Butchers run wide there, and that's surely going to give them a slow down penalty. That's going to allow Markham to get through. No, it hasn't. This is the battle for the back of the field. We are watching the battle for the last of the podium positions. Is it going to be a last-minute dive? There is Markham. He's side by side with Wilson. As they go 2 by 2 through that corner, can he hold on to it? Can he keep it nice and tidy as he does everything he needs to do in that position? All 4 wheels are pointing in the same direction. 5, 4, 3, 2. Down the gearbox he goes into 1, flips it into the left sider. This is the last lap of the penultimate race, and then we're down to race 3. Top 9 positions in reverse, don't forget. So it's going to be very tricky for that final race. We're going to leave that momentarily and rejoin the Trebek battle. Trebek is basically being being held up by Lawson. Lawson is doing everything he needs to do. He doesn't need to do any more. Stu Neal should bring the car home in 5th position. He doesn't need to do anything. He doesn't need to do anything from that position. The problem is that now George will be 4 points ahead in the championship. 4 points, and that is it. And then Craig Deeks, well, does he get T-Joke to the line? No, he doesn't. Poddy Flag doing everything he needs to do there. He didn't need to do any more. He's played, like Lawson, the team game. Butcher will come home in the front of the gaggle of cars. Aaron Markham had a great recovery to 10th, but he hasn't really been on the pace. Wilson's 11th. Ashbourne has been fighting, you'd think, his teammate, but they're 2 different teammates. And there's Derek Neal, brings home the Nikkei A Motorsport Developments car, and that is the provisional race results. So Neal gets fastest lap, and that's what I was saying. Neal was faster. So Neal was faster in that he was just faster. But Poddy Flack did exactly what he needed to do. Poddy didn't need to do anything else. All he had to do was stay in the back, keep 4 wheels on the road, and basically be the rear gunner. That's what he needs to do, and that's what he's done. But what a race, what a race. Right, we're going to go across to the drivers, and we're going to see if I can pick up some of our drivers. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can I be a co-commentator for race 3?
No, you can't. So, race 2, that was actually quite muted compared to race 1. But I mean, obviously you were in the middle of the pack there. Lots of fighting going on, as always. Yourself, Simon, what happened there?
Dominoes, I think, mate. I was trundling along into turn 1 behind Choke, and all of a sudden I got punted from behind. And I don't think I was alone. I think there were a few cars stacked up behind me. So something happened. I've no idea what, but that was it. Game over. And then I started getting some recovery, got past Russ, and then had another unforced error. Put myself in the wall, damaged the front end, and that was it. Game over.
Real shame.
Not a great finish to the season at all. Very poor.
1 race to go. Last race of season 4. Pole position, I believe, isn't it?
Oh, God help me.
Is it? I don't know. I forgot to record it, if I'm completely 100% honest. I usually tag something and I forgot it. So
him and he's P9.
I'm glad that you're there to help me out. I love that.
Because I was P10.
You're co-commentator. Is that right?
Yeah, he's co-commentator. Right, across to yourself, Phil. Obviously, last race with us. Congratulations on your HGV license.
Yeah, well done, Phil. Nicely.
Yeah, well done on that. From what I can see tonight, you are being the team game. 100% the team game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
It's game over now.
Yes. Well, no, it isn't. There is 4 points in it.
4 points?
That's it. 4 points are in it.
In whose favour?
Shaw's.
In the championship?
Yep.
What about the teams? I think
I haven't been doing I haven't been doing the teams. But again, this is all provisional, pending any incidents and accidents, as always, as I always say.
Phil, you've smashed the teams because me and Aaron have had a mare tonight. We've been nowhere.
Well, I can safely say I don't think there's been any incidents at the front end. I had a lot of fun with Trebek in race 2. I think he was probably a bit annoyed.
But then, to be fair, I mean, I was saying this on stream, is that Stu at the moment he needs either a Poddy or a Butcher. He needs a hard defender at the back of him because because Poddy in the last race basically just kept him busy, and then the minute I think Poddy made a mistake. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. Made a mistake. He went on.
Yeah, I backed him up in race 1 as well, and then he just went backwards. As soon as I dropped him from the slipstream, he went backwards.
So it's a case right now that he needs a rear gunner or a front gunner. He needs somebody, somebody to help him, I think, unfortunately. But that's what it is. It's not only an individual sport, it's a team sport. So for yourself and Shaw's, because I can see Shaw's is on here as well. Nice to have you on the stream. Yes. Same thing for race 3, or is it a case of yourself, Phil, you've just got to basically make your way through and make Shaw's follow you?
That's gonna be the
That's the
case,
plan.
I guess.
That is the plan.
That is the plan. But I don't know how far I need to be.
You need to
How
beat Stu and
near
Benny.
Stu.
You
Yeah,
need
I
to
don't
be, as
know.
long as you finish in front of Stu and Benny.
Yeah,
Just
it's
finish in
okay,
front of
but
Stu and Benny.
I'm not going to
Um,
sit here and figure it out because I have no idea.
But I'm going back to the other
if
voice
I'm
after the
completely
race.
honest, it's quite complicated with everything the way it is at the moment. But it's going to make it very, very interesting, I think, because you've got Trebek is going to be ahead of you, and Trebek is he was giving you a hassle there in the last race. So I can see Stu's dropped in as now as well. Is that Trebek could be the saving grace? Is that the right word? That's the wrong word. But you know what I mean. It's that close. It's that close.
yeah.
And if you look at, especially within the raw pace, Neil is faster than Shaw's just in the raw pace in the data. So it's so intense. All I'm hoping is we don't end up with a John Cleland, Steve Soper situation. That's all I'm hoping for.
Hopefully not.
But it's been it seems to be it's been very intense. It's going to be very exciting, I think. So nice to see you on stream, Stu. Nice to have you back.
Cheers.
So obviously, like I was saying on stream, and you can go back and watch it, and you can disagree with me and everything. As I think at the moment you need, as I was saying in stream, you need someone like a Butcher or a Poddy, someone to basically be your rear gunner.
Yeah, I don't have one of them.
No.
So the way I make it at the moment, I think Shaw's is 3 points ahead and Norton's 5 points behind. Is that right?
It's something like that. It's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's really tricky
Yeah.
to figure it out.
I think that's what it is.
Because I actually, oddly enough, it's something I was thinking about on the way to basically home tonight. Is that if you and say you had Poddy or you and Butcher in a team, I think it would be mighty. Predominantly because, Butcher, isn't as fast as yourself, but he defends. And right now, that's what you need. Because Lawson's dropped off, but Lawson was doing, he just defended.
You don't have to tell me that. I was watching.
And unfortunately, I don't want to see how it's going to end because it could end completely differently.
Well,
I don't know.
But I'm going to jump off anyway.
Pardon, sorry?
I'm going to jump off.
Yes, you better do. Get yourself ready.
Right. Cheers then.
Cheers. Right, gentlemen, I'm going to leave you go for the last race of the season. It's basically me talking a lot. So good luck, Jake. Good luck, Simon. No doubt I'll talk to you after.
Luck would be nice.
Pardon, sorry?
Any luck would be nice. Any luck. Any at all.
Just go for some luck. I'm wishing you some luck.
Would be nice.
Well, you're in my favourite car,
More than that.
so I've told him to give you 200% power.
Your favourite car has given me nothing since practice.
Well, I had high hopes. Right.
So did
Right.
I after practice.
Right, I'm going to let you go because there's a minute to go before we go into the race. Good luck, both of you, for the final race of the season.
Yep.
Right, so that's it. That is it. It's the last race of the season. There is no more. Terminating final round. Let's go. Tamenga. He's going to be racing with us next season, actually. Hello, Tamenga. Welcome to stream. There is a lot of you in the background watching. Please say hi. We're all a friendly bunch. Come and find us on Discord and Facebook. It has come down to this. It is, I think it's 4 or 5 points behind to Lawson, and it's 3 or 4 points ahead. Neil is, he needs a rear gunner. Right now he needs luck. He needs luck, and he needs a rear gunner. I don't know where he's going to get it from because they're all fighting for different championships. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him, but we will see. We've got roughly a minute to go. The drivers will lobby themselves up. They will get absolutely ready and absolutely on it for the season ahead. For the last penultimate race, the last race of the season. So you've been with us for nearly 10 weeks listening to me jabber on, make mistakes, do stupid things through the whole of this. Sound is back on. I managed to get a new button with sound on it. So it actually turns sound on and off because there were a couple that we did that. It's all going to be to play for. I don't know where it's going to finish, but as Lawson has said, if Neil finishes ahead of those drivers. He basically does, I don't know where it ends. Maybe my maths is off. My maths could be off. But again, all results are provisional, depending on penalties. Yeah, it's that close. It is that close. It is absolutely down to the wire. Yes. Here we go. Lights are flashing out. Everybody's getting ready. This is the last race of the season. Ashbourne's on the lead. You've got Butcher, Joke, Flack and Norton. Get ready. We're about to go racing. Then it's go, go, go. Lights out for the last race of the season. Where is Neil? Has he done body flack? Surely he's going to take him into that first corner. Holds it up the inside. There is the 34 Trebek. Right at the rear end. He needs no incidents, no heroics, no perfectness. Perfect. He's managed to get into 4th position. He will hold Trebek on the outside. There is Shaw's. He's moved himself up to 8th, but he's on it. Where's Norton? Norton's stuck behind his teammates. Neil is doing what he needs to do. There's 2 cars ahead. I suspect will get past at some point. Well, the 1, 2, 3, 4 cars ahead will get past. Neil is on it. Flack needs to release his teammate Benny. He needs to release Benny. Otherwise, it's going to be curtains. These two need to work together. There is Flack riding from the rear camera. Trebek, he's attacking Teacher. I'm keeping an eye on that. There is Norton. There's Lawson and Deeks. Deeks is going to attempt. He's just not going to get around there. Where is Trebek? They're all going into turn 1. Ashbourne's currently leading through right 2, 3, 4, 5. If it finishes in this order right now, I believe Neil will be the championship winner. But he needs to not have anything silly. He needs Poddy Flack right now. He needs the man behind him, that 25. He is his best friend at this exact moment. Poddy Flack holds the key to Neil's championship. Right now, Poddy needs to let his teammate through. He has to let his teammate through. They need to do the switcheroo somewhere and then close the gap. It's not worked. It's absolutely not worked. He's made a mistake. Butcher is attacking Ashbourne. And the problem is now, Poddy has made the mistake. They've done it at the wrong time. Poddy needs to hold it on the inside. He needs to shut that door to Lawson immediately. He has to close the door, because if he doesn't close the door, there is Poddy Flack. Those two are going to go through. He's just left it wide open. He's hit the brakes. He's let him through. This is not good. This is not good. Poddy Flack was Neil's biggest opportunity, but the cars ahead are starting to roll it into the corner. There's Trebek riding on board. He is in 4th position. Whoa, a little bit of a tap there. Now that's kept all 4 wheels pointing in the right direction. There's Neil, and he's gone up the inside. Trebek should get the chokes they done. T-Joke done. T-Joke is in the larder. He's the car on the left. He's the bright yellow one. The car on the right now. There's Trebek. Through the right hander we go. Neil is mighty through this sector. Look at him, he's catching it up. Neil is on it, absolutely delivering all he can do here. The question he has to look at here is whether or not hits the brake. Look at Trebek, into 3rd he goes, he runs the car wide, he's back. Whoa, T-Joke tries to go up the inside. T-Joke's made a mistake. Has that allowed Neil to go into 4th position? Come on, Neil, put the 4 wheels down in the wagon. Come on, son, he's done it. Into 4th he goes. Sensational stuff there through the right hander. All 4 wheels pointing in the right direction. T-Joke is going to attempt to go up the inside. Oh, he's thought better of it. He needs to really make sure that Poddy, 69, that is Benny Norton. He had a car between him and the car behind. Lawson is stuck at the back of the gaggle of cars. Lawson now, riding from the rear camera, is defending that man right there, Poddy. In the background, you can see Benny Norton is side by side with Neil, but he's not going to go. He's got it done. He's got it done. Benny Norton has got that job done. He's gone up the inside. Has Neil managed to hold that position? It's going to be absolutely crucial. He holds that position. 80 kilograms on board to Neil's car. Shaw's has got 70 kilograms on board. It's very, very tricky. Through the right hander, across the bumps he goes. Needs to keep all 4 wheels pointing in the right direction. Look how slow Shaw's is through that sector. That's where he was rolling it in. Whoa, he rolls it on 2 wheels. Sensational stuff at the background. So this is Shaw's riding on board now. And look how much speed the man ahead has got. He's almost got the second win. Neil here needs to retake and get the lead. He's going to take these 2. He is slowly but surely getting dragged along by these 2. He needs to stay in their slipstream. Right now, T-Joke is As it currently stands at the front, Trebek is going to attempt to go past Butcher. I am keeping an eye on the battle in the back as well. This is the last of the podium positions. Trebek, he wants to try and get a victory on his last race. He wants to try and hold that position, but look at Tijo. Tijo here, he's in 4th position. There's 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Neil is holding onto the back of Benny Norton as best he can. He needs the air, he needs someone to punch a hole in the air for him. And these two right now are doing it. Oh, he's run wide! He's run wide! T-Joker's run wide! Has he got a slow down penalty? 100% guaranteed! There it is! On the board, so he's going to have to pull over at some point to shave off that. The problem is, riding on board with him now, where does he do it? Where does he do it? Where is he going to hold on to it? T-Joke, another slow down penalty for track limit abuse. This man here is racking them up faster than anything that can be racked up. Sensational stuff. They're going to be raging in the helmet, but he's got a much better drive. Norton's little bump gave him a lovely draft up the hill. They're all holding onto the wheels through the right side. Keeps it nice and tidy. Lawson doing the rear gunner game there. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. 100% right. Craig and Poddy. Poddy's just dropped from Lawson. Poddy at the moment needs to get a shift on if he wants to help his team. I'm not sure if he's broken the wheels on his wagon. We're riding on board now with Craig Deeks. There he is in 10th position. Through the right side we go. Keeps it nice and tidy. Behind him is Aaron Markham. There he is. Jake Wilson's managed to go side by side with him. Through the right hand of his let him go. I think Markham just thinking, I just want this to end. Trebek has got past Butcher. We missed that. That was off screen. But Butcher now is going to start. I think he's going to start going backwards in that car. But the championship rivals are all nose to tail as it stands. The problem we've got is how much Neil can hold on to that position. His biggest problem is that he needs to close the door. That door needs to be closed solidly shut. But the saving grace he's got right on board now with 27th position. The saving grace he's got is that neither of these riders can afford to lose positions. None of them can. Nobody can afford to make one mistake, make one error, have one issue, because anything like that, and they're all sailing themselves out into the boat on yonder. D-Joke, he's in 4th, keeping an eye on this battle. There is Benny Norton, he's going to go up the inside. Neil needs to get a shifty on and follow through Norton as quickly as possible. He's run wide, surely now. This is not what he needs. He needs to stick it up the inside. Oh, he's slowed down. That hasn't the move, hasn't been able to achieve it. I think he's either slowed down. Oh no, I think it was to do with the overtake. It looks like the overtake wasn't going to be right, and as a result, that compromised him and compromised his exit. And as a result, it's really pushed him into the wrong place. Lawson's stuck there basically. Lawson can't do anything because if he gets ahead of the cars in front and he attacks them, he's going to absolutely take away points from his teammates. And at the moment, he's just kind of stuck in no man's land. Shaw's is again stuck in no man's land, 145. He's lapping on 145.665. So he's keeping it nice and tidy. Neil is just thankful that he's got a Benny Norton ahead of him. What he needs right now is Benny Norton to take to basically this man here has to make one mistake. Lawson, they've let Lawson through. I think Lawson's going to attempt to try and do something here. I suspect the backing up process. They're in, yeah, they're playing the team game once again. Right, we'll leave that. We're on the lead battle. So Trebek is in 2nd position. He's going for his first win of the TCSRL League. He is unballasted against Simon Ashbourne, who's been running around at the front on his own. And he's got Trebek and Butcher behind him, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. They are all absolutely nose to tail as they come into the first corner. Ashbourne's gone defensive. In the background, you've got Lawson. Neil's on the back of Norton. Keep an eye on that. Surely now Trebek is going to take the old switch cut back and go up the inside. Has he done it? I am watching the rest of the board. They're all holding station. He's not going to go round the outside. Trebek is the car on the left. Ashbourne is the car on the right. It is Renault Megane. Boom, the number 34 versus Seat Cupra, the number 38. Riding on board now with 1st position. There's Butcher in the 26. Absolutely mighty through that sector. Has Benny Norton made a mistake? No, he hasn't. Norton hasn't made a mistake, but look at Lawson. So Lawson's game right now is to get past Neil. He has to get past Neil. As it currently stands, he needs to clear Neil. And then he has to go after Norton. Because as it currently stands where they are, the difference between 6 and 7 is a point. So it makes no difference. Lawson has to get the movie on if he wants to put the film for tonight. I have no idea what I'm saying. There's so much is going on. But look at Neil. Neil is doing all he can. He can't do any more. He's stuck. He needs to save his tyres. He needs to watch out. Lawson's just so much quicker. He's just so much. He hasn't got the ballast on board. Lawson is starting to suffer now. So this is Neil's opportunity to take that position. The rest of the board, Trebek is currently leading. I've missed that on the stream. I do apologise. I was watching the championship battle as it unfolds right now. In the back, Markham is at the back of Wilson, so we'll leave that battle. Wilson's on the back of Neil, and keep an eye on that as it currently stands. Unless Jake says at the inside of Deeks, which is going to be a very audacious move. Deeks has got defensive. Does Markham? There's Markham. He's in the 12, holding on to that position. Right, where is Lawson? Lawson is now alongside. He has his nose in front going into the hairpin. He's going to have to slow the car down. They leave just enough room. He goes through. Where's the 79? That's the 79 of George. He's dragging George along. I think that's it. I think this could be the championship over. 79. Where are they? Where are they? This is key. It's 7th and 8th. It's a point. It's a point between them. I can't even separate it. And if Lawson lets him through into 6th, it's 2 points. It's 2 points between them. So right now, with 3 minutes 56 to go, by my very poor mathematics, I believe. Does he have fastest lap? Does he have fastest lap? Quickly try. Yes. No, he doesn't. Phil Lawson's taking fastest lap. Neil just needs to hang on to the back of this pack. That's all he needs to do right now. So Lawson will get past Benny Norton. He will clear Benny Norton. That's a God-given fact. The thing he's doing now is he's trying to get second place in the championship as best as he can. But Norton's not going to let him go. Now Lawson has to make a choice. Does he purposely back up the rest of the field so that he can let his teammate through? There is T-Joe, who's blocking for a while. There is Lawson. He's in 5th position as it currently stands. Lawson has fastest lap. T-Joe's on the back of Butcher for 3rd. Butcher's going to come into the party now. That's going to really mix it up. There is Butcher in 3rd position. Really holding on to it. Behind that is T-Joe in 4th. Lawson is in 5th position. Benny Norton is in 6th. Behind that is George in 7th. He's doing all he can to hold on to that. The question is, can he do anything from here? Can he do anything? Can he hold the position? 3:39 to go. So 1:44 lap. It's 2 laps. That's 2 minutes 44. It'll be this lap and that will be it. There is Lawson. He's now on the back of T-Joe. I think Lawson essentially is going to go for as many points as he can get now. He's going for 2nd in the championship. So he has to go as fast as he can, as quickly as he can, to get past the 2 cars ahead. Butcher is no slouch when it comes to defending, and this is what I've been saying. Butcher really, probably be a very probably upset a lot of people, but Butcher really needs Stu Neal really need body on Butcher right now. He really needed them. That's what he needed at this exact moment. He doesn't have it, so Neal's down in 8th position. It's 8th and 7th. It's all going to come down right now to where Phil Lawson can finish. Where can Phil Lawson finish in the championship? Can he nick enough points from somebody else? Where is Benny Norton? Phil Lawson's basically just been released, and he's left everyone else to themselves. He's abandoned. I think his teammates have basically gone, just go. Oh no, Benny Norton's made a mistake. Benny Norton has made a mistake. Has that allowed Stu Neal to get past? Stu Neal needs to do this. He needs to be within a point of the man ahead. They're going to go side by side through the S's. Neal is going to hold it. Norton's left on the accelerator. Neal's run wide. He's tried to hold on to it. Has he got a slow down penalty? Has the game let him given away with it? T-Joke has let his old teammate through. It's really all starting to go right now. So his old teammate, Shaw's, has been let through by his old teammate. So it is 5th and 7th, which is 2 points. It's 2 points. It's right there. They're right at the cusp of it. Butcher now holds the key. Butcher is the man we're all watching, and it will go down to effectively a massive countback. There is Neal. Neal has to keep that pedal firmly planted on the accelerator. He needs to go full balls deep right now through the right-hander last lap. Butcher could be the key to saving Stu Neal's championship. Right now, that man right there holds the key to Stu Neal's championship on my points calculation. He needs to hold up that man there as much as possible. The problem that Butcher and Neal have is that I don't think from the incidents they're involved in, they're really friends as it currently stands. So Butcher, he's run wide, he's run the car wide. So right now, Neal is looking at the end of a champion. I think he's going to lose it by a point. I think he's going to lose it by a point. Shaw's is in 4th and Neal's in 7th. And the difference on points is 9, 10, 12, 13, it's 13. It's 13 points. And the difference is... Yeah, it will be Shaw's championship. Shaw's finishing ahead of Neal in the way that they have. It will be this man's championship. He will take it in the last possible. There is Stu Neal. He's going to try and get past Markham and Poddy. Are going to go side by side in the final corner. Tijo has had another slow down penalty. Trebek will bring the car home for Trip 6 Motorsport for his first victory in the TCSRL League. He'll be absolutely ecstatic with that. He's been on the cusp. Ashbourne will come home second. Lawson will be third. You know, Lawson just needs to let Shaw's through. He needs to drop the car back right now. Well, they've come close. Butcher will be in 5th position. Behind that is Neal. And then you've got Norton, Tijo, Flack, Aaron, what a finish. Kirby, Neal and Wilson. Followed by Deeks, I think, has retired the car. We will wait for confirmation, but as always, all provision race results are provisional. The two teammates, the two championship rivals, will go side by side. Phil Lawson fastest lap. Simon Trebek is the race winner. So Simon Trebek will not be our Dugdale Trophy winner. Our Dugdale Trophy winner is going to be Benny Norton, I believe. I could be wrong because my points aren't that great. I'll be 100% honest. There are moments where my points calculations are slightly off. But by my really poor maths, I believe. Why didn't Phil let George through? It's close. I think there's a point in it. I think there is 1 point in this between the two drivers. I think there is a single point in between them two. I could be wrong, but no doubt it is going to be one of those massive talking points as we go across into the commentary box. For the last time of the season, we are in the commentary box. That was it. What a race. What a finish to the finale. It didn't know how that was going to go through the race. Going to talk to yourself, Phil, first. Just going to talk to yourself, Phil, and then I'll talk to yourself, Stu, as well. Please feel free to join in, as always. Yourself, Phil, was there a point when you and Shaw's, because it looked like you were holding the rear gunner, Poddy dropped off, and it was almost like you basically, Shaw's released you to make the difference for points?
I was playing rear gunner, especially once we got past Poddy, and then I don't know what happened. I seen him go up on 2 wheels and he dropped away. And as soon as it got to 2.5 seconds, I said to Saws, let's switch and give him something different to think about. And it paid off a treat. Because
I don't, obviously, I've been doing some real quick fag pack maths. I think there's a point in it. I think the difference is a point. But again, I don't know which way, because I won't verify anything until it's been verified.
I thought it was 4.
No, it's not. Shaw's has got it. He was 3 points ahead of me going into that race.
I thought it was 4.
Yeah. So he only needed to finish in front of me.
And he's done it.
He's done it, yeah.
He's done it. But again, it was very, very tough. The whole thing was very tough. Like I said before, for yourself, Neil, you really needed a rear gunner at that moment. It is what it is, though, unfortunately. I mean, you fought, like I said, as well, for everybody. Everybody deserves it. Everybody's fought hard for every inch of tarmac from week 1. It's been sensational, to be perfectly honest. I've loved it. I've enjoyed it. I mean, yourself, Phil, Obviously, you're leaving us, which is, it's quite sad, really. Yeah, I mean, you'll still be around. It's like no one's
I
died.
know,
If anyone's worried.
otherwise me and Stu could have teamed up next season and took it to Saws and Aaron, but hey ho.
But it is one. Yeah, well, it is one of those things, really, in terms of where it is. I mean, Shaw's must be really happy because obviously, like I said, I do think he has done it.
More than anything, he was very grateful. So I think he'd have struggled a lot more without the compliance that I gave him in race 1 and 2.
Yes,
in race 1, I just backed Stu up into everybody else, and then as soon as Saws had got enough space for me to drive into, I just drove away from him.
Yeah, I could see that, and then obviously in race 2 for yourself, Stu. Obviously, you had Poddy that just kept you busy. Obviously, I didn't see how he fell off track, and obviously that's one of those things that would, or the process and all that. But it looked like he kept you busy, and then the minute he disappeared into the back of the field somewhere, because you got fastest lap, I think, in race 2.
Did I?
I believe you did.
Yeah, just.
And it was amazing. The minute that Stu didn't have Poddy behind him, he just started to really shut the door down again. And that's
Poddy went up on 2 wheels up on turn
standard
2, basically at the top of the hill. Not the top of the hill, but the first bit as it went round.
Yep.
Because I thought, he's close, he's going to have me here. And then I looked in my mirror and saw him up on 2 wheels, and I thought, that's all right, I've got some breathing room now. Get my head down.
But then that's what I was saying. I mean, obviously, I'm not detracting away from your teammate this year. He's new to the league, and he's done really well, actually. Martin Kirby, same as your father, Derek Neal, Bill Campion. They've done exceptionally well because they've closed the gap right down in terms of their race pace. You look at where they started to where they are now, they're really closing that gap. But like I said on stream, and when you watch stream back, is that right now, you could have done with a Poddy or a Butcher at the back as a number 2 driver defending your position. I mean, would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, obviously it would have helped to have someone someone like Phil, basically. Because obviously I knew exactly I predicted the race 1 and 2 outcomes. I knew that Phil was going to get pole, and I knew Shaw's would get 2nd or 3rd. And I knew that obviously what I actually thought was Phil was going to carry on in front for a bit and drag him along to get a gap. And then at some point drop behind and block whoever was behind. And obviously he did.
I don't think anybody expected it on the first lap.
No, this is it. And obviously you slowed me down, as you said, and I was like, oh, what a night. Because I was looking for a way past, and I thought if he just puts it in the wrong place, I'll just sail it and go. But even if I had got past, you'd have got me on the next corner anyway, because you got no ballast. But no, it was good.
But again, it was it was a very hard fought tactical race, I think, all the way through. But it was always going to be that way.
The same race 2 to Rebecca as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a sort of a front row seat, effectively. I was just watching.
Shaw's has joined us, and so has Russ, Jake, and Simon. Shaw's, we all think, again, it has to be confirmed, and all results are still provisional until table is published, as we always say, that we think you've done it for a third year in a row? 3rd year, that's the wrong thing. 3rd season?
Yes, I think so.
And I think you should be sending a large crate of beer to your teammate, Mr. Lawson.
Yeah, Phil has done everything tonight.
Yeah.
Because
he can't drink now. He's an HGV.
Oh yeah, he's a HGV driver. You're gonna have to buy him some beers, and then drink it yourself. That's what I think you're gonna have to do. I mean,
like a plan.
He's coming to Amsterdam next year, and we'll meet there. So
we're going to get smashed.
I mean that final race. Like some people, there's loads of my work colleagues that watch this actually as well, and that'll be a massive talking point for the next 2 or 3 days at work, as it always is. In terms of those last 3 races, that looked very tough. It harps back to last season. You're in the middle of the field, and you're just pushing for everything. But if it wasn't for Phil, would I right in saying that you would have really struggled to get past Neil? Because in that second phase of the race, all the races tonight, I would say, he seemed to find that little bit extra.
Yes. My tires were gone at the end. The first race, Phil gave me a gap. He held everyone behind me. Second race with Trebek was kind of different, but when Phil
Great fun.
passed, it was not so difficult. Third race, we swapped places, and as I hope you've seen on stream,
Yes, we did. I hate.
yes, he helped me at the last corner, and yeah, I passed Stu at that moment. I think that was the most important thing in the third race.
But it's been very hard fought through the whole season.
Yes.
You know, from day one to now, it's been, it's a very tough, very, very tough. I mean, it's glad it's not 100 kilograms on board the cars anymore, to be honest. But what's nice, I mean, is that it's very well deserved, I think, and I think we'd all be right in saying that. And as like I said, going into the championship, everyone deserved it. All of the top six, everybody just deserved to win it.
Yep.
And it could have gone on. I would safely say it could have gone any way tonight, any single way it could have gone.
I didn't deserve to win that tonight. I was awful.
I mean,
Club.
I mean, going to race 3 yourself. I mean, obviously, moving away from yourself, Shores, and going to yourself, Simon. I mean, Trebek was absolutely on fire today. I mean, to be honest, I think you all had a dealing with him at some point, but he's been, I don't know, he just seemed to be really connect with the car at this track. He just seems to be invigorated.
Why did he win the last race? Now he didn't win the Dugdale.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, Benny Norton wins the Dugdale now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Trebek finished the last race as second, he would have won the Dugdale.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, you jinxed me. And you said what they needed was a rust behind them. I had a rust behind me, and Trebek still got through. What's that about?
He's driving a Hyundai.
Didn't do me any good.
He's driving a Hyundai.
The tyres are gone, Si. I'm afraid.
Let me down, Rush. You let me down.
Sorry.
I mean, through the whole season, it's been exceptional. I mean, I think the big talking point I'd say through the whole season has always been the tyres and managing tyres through the whole season. I mean, tonight for yourself, Stu, how were the tyres? Because we haven't really talked about the tyres in terms of yourself. I mean, because Phil alluded, I think it was yourself, Phil alluded that the best way to win the race is always to manage the tyres in the first 10 minutes and then really push in the last 5.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I basically go flat out all the time. So I'm good for the first few laps, and then it sort of peters off. I think the only reason I was a bit stronger in some of the second phases of those races was I was getting dragged around, so my tyres weren't getting as much abuse as they would have done if I had free air in front of me. So yeah, but no, it was tough. The last couple of laps, there's virtually nothing left, and it's so hard to get it stopped and get it turned in.
And the thing is that the Cupra has the best, I think you alluded it to yourself, Phil, it has the best tyre wear.
Yeah, I think so.
It's definitely better than the Link.
Hey, don't be jipping the Link. That's my favourite car.
Well, I drove that last season and yeah, somehow got in the championship last season in it, but I think it was just the tracks. I think if I'd been on the tracks this year in it, it's a nightmare on tyres, that car. It's a very track specific car, I think, that one itself. I mean, if we go back to season 1 where we were running mainly GP circuits, so Spa, Hungaroring, it's the car of choice. It is one of the cars of choice. But then saying that, oh yeah, because Damien Jensen won that in a Link, funny enough. Going back to that. Casting my mind back to that season. But yeah, so obviously yourself, Russ, obviously driving that Hyundai. Are you glad to get rid of that now? Are you going to be looking for a different car? Or are you going to wait for the tracks to be published and then go for it?
I'll wait and see what tracks are picked for next season, and then I'll have a test in a few cars. I might not say goodbye to the Honda yet, but the tyre wear on it is a bit of an issue. Even like the Audi never had as bad tyre wear as this, and I had 100 kilos on that and 60 kilos on that before. But yeah, the Hyundai is a completely different league of tyre wear. But started to get to it towards the end of the season a little bit. But yeah, the tracks chosen for this season, it really wasn't the car. That was a bit of a mistake on our part to pick such a big car. But we'll see.
But then, oddly enough, I know I talk about it a lot, but I was watching Fabio Gil in the Trip 6 Motorsport, which I think, yeah, I always talk about it, but he can drive that. I don't even know why. Now, there's a few of you, I think, Stu, Phil,
You can't manage the tyres.
Jake, Shaw's, I think you're in that, and Russ, I think you pretty much everyone here, bar me and Simon, I think, are racing in that on Sunday, which I will be watching.
I'm not doing the full this season in that. I just wanted to do the exhibitions.
I thought you would do. Oh, maybe I've read it wrong. But okay,
I just did the exhibitions.
Just do the exhibitions.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, I think, as well in that one as well, just because he just drives that car, and I've watched other leagues where other people drive the Hyundai, and they can just extract the maximum out of it. And I don't know. Obviously, I'm not being negative towards your driving style, but I mean, I can't drive, which is why I talk.
No, I am very hard on the tyres. Very hard on the tyres when I drive.
Is it better not on default setup though?
You don't need a setup on the Alpha. It's a beast. It's just driving style.
You say every car's a beast. You said the Lincoln car was a beast 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
to be fair, that brake bias change really helped it.
They're all good in their own aspects.
Yeah.
Certain aspects.
The truth is, Phil's the beast. The car just helps him
Phil
along.
can drive anything.
Phil, whatever you do, don't go for the apex like you did in that car when you get an XGV. It'll all end in tears.
Oh, I know, yeah. Oh, I know.
But I mean, so for obviously looking forward to next season. Obviously, it's been a great season. I've enjoyed it. Thrills and spills all the way through. Obviously, we've got all the discussion points that will be going into next season, as it always happens. Going through. Just a couple of things I want to talk about. I mean, for yourself, I'll start with yourself, Simon. And obviously, please, anyone jump in. I want to go through what your highlights have been this season, basically, for yourself. Actually, let me rephrase that. Which part of Zolder did you really enjoy the best?
The two race wins.
Where I damaged the suspension in race 2 and fell away.
I don't even know why you asked me that, Andy. You knew I was going to say Zolder.
Well, there we go then.
That's the only good race night I've had, I think.
Yourself, Stu, is it your first victory in the tour in the team? Because that was really early out. Back at, is it Norris Ring?
Norris Ring, yeah.
And you really fought for that one as well.
Yeah, that was Crave, I think I got in the end, didn't I?
Yes.
To get that one.
Yes, and did you notice that the overtake is on the season 5 promo video?
No, I didn't actually.
It's on there. If you watch the season 5 promo video, it's on there.
I'll just have to pay more attention then. I have watched it. I just didn't see it.
It is on there. I'd watch it.
Andy, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Can we retire car 53? Seems though I won the triple with it.
No. Someone might want. Oh, the Cooper is open. The 53 number Cooper is open, but I think there's a discussion of moving on a different way. I think there is a discussion currently to whether or not people keep the same cars or it just goes into free season. But
Same cars.
But 53. But 50. I know in terms of, so when you sign up for the season after, so say you sign up for season 5, if you're an existing driver, you get priority over your existing car.
I'll just keep signing up for seasons then, even though I
And just don't turn up.
Yeah, but now I know you drive on a Wednesday. I'll be like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here?
Not for 2 weird 10 seasons. Why are you still signing up to drive the fucking Cooper? Nice one.
I mean, obviously, back to yourself, Stu. Completely distracted there. Would it be Norris Ring as your moment, or even? I mean, even tonight. I know, obviously, currently provisionally you haven't taken the championship, but that looked mighty difficult in terms. It was a very, very tough race. Races. Or has he left me?
Yeah.
Has Stu left me?
Sorry, you're talking to me?
Yeah, I was talking
Yeah.
to you. So basically, he's had enough of this. He wants to go to bed. See you, Stu. Are you rewatching the video again?
No, I was chatting to Shaw's actually in the background. He was just saying it was cracking season, obviously racing, and yeah. So I was just saying, oh yeah, nice one. And I thought you were talking to somebody else.
No, I was talking to you. I was still talking to you.
Apologies there. Yeah, it was great. That's my answer.
Okay, moving on. Phil's is obviously the triple, the only triple winner so far in Touring Car Sim Racing League. But if you take the 53 Seat Cupra next season, you can carry on the legacy. That's what I'm going for. Obviously yourself, Jake, as well. Obviously, Jake, you know, I mean, your highlight is me be calling you the wrong name for most of the season. That's got to be your highlight. But I suspect it's
Mategi, come on.
I suspect it's your race win at. Oh, I forgot this track. Is it
Mategi?
That one, all right.
Like 4 times.
It's got to be that race win there. It's got to be that race win there.
Actually, the start at Most. I enjoy the start at Most more.
Do you want to
Get out of it.
I do enjoy the start at Most more, to be honest.
That was just
beautiful.
That was a stunning launch. That was.
If you go back and watch it, because that's also in the promo video as well.
I've watched it about 5 or 6 times.
I don't know
On
how
my
you
own
did
replay.
it. It's perfect. It's
Nor do I.
It's perfect.
I'm going to spend my entire time here trying to recreate that and probably jumpstart about 5 times a season.
So would you say that, or would you say it's your first win in TCRSL as well?
I mean, the Mategi win was nice. I had to actually had to pass people to do that, which was nice. I didn't have to properly pass anyone at Moss, but I did throw that race away on my own. Kane Alexander obviously put me under enough pressure to win that.
Yeah, that was.
Sonoma, the car's going into the museum, and Sonoma will be a race from memory.
Are you going to stick with the link for next year, or is it going to be depending what tracks pop up and then make the decision?
I have a plan.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say on that. And that's why it's going into the museum.
Okay, we will see that. Russ, yourself?
Highlight
Yes.
was probably Zolder coming into the comms chat and just having Simon sitting there giggling like a little schoolgirl. Was hilarious after the race one win.
Totally busted. I admit. I was just sitting here laughing my head off. I couldn't believe it.
That was hilarious. But no, there's been, well, obviously we've had ups and downs, but no, I've enjoyed the whole lot really. It's been great.
It's been exciting, I think, from a season. I think I know obviously there's always discussion points, as there always is, and if you're on our Discord, you can see all the discussion points. They're openly put out. It's very good like that. There'll always be discussion points, but in general, I'd say, obviously for yourself, Simon, you've been with us since season 1. I think you have.
Yeah, I only just lost out on season 1 because Jensen and his teammate.
Chris.
Is it Chris?
Chris. Pissick,
yeah,
and then they invited me and so.
Yeah, thanks.
Which is a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame they do. That was a different time. They were in the Lincoln Co's as well, but different ballast system there as well, to be honest. Different ballast system. But I think it's progressively, I'd say, it's got better over up to the current season.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
With the way things have gone. I mean, it's just, every league has its niggles. It always will. But I think it's got better. I certainly wouldn't be commentating if it was poor. You know that. That's what I am. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to do a couple of talking points while I still got a couple of minutes. I mean, one of the big things that all affected yourselves through the season, obviously, was ballast.
No, it didn't.
Except one person. Yeah, but again,
I know.
You didn't have ballast, so it still affected you. I mean,
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, so there we go. As an unballasted driver, and you've put the 10 kilograms proposal in. So, I mean, through yourselves as well, open discussion. Do you think the ballast is right? Do you think it's because I think following into this season, it was 100 kilograms, and then it was 92 kilograms, then 80 kilograms.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, last season. Yeah,
last season, but I think the 80 kilograms down to 20 kilograms is just, with the current speeds, is just about right. But
the guys have said better feedback to me about it. It's much better this season. Soza said it's better. Stu said it's better. 80 kilos is a little bit more manageable. You can fight still.
It hampers you, but it doesn't kill you.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd still like to see 60 as the maximum, but yeah.
Come on, Stu. If you weren't lobbying for 10, it's not. We're not doing something right. It's like I want 10 kilograms. Everyone else can have nothing. But it is. I mean, ballast is. I mean, that's where the BOP comes into play, because BOP, in essence, with success ballast, doesn't really work, because you can't add 15 kilograms onto. I mean, this is just my viewpoint. Again, there would have to be a bunch of testing to be done, but you can't add 15 kilograms onto 80 kilograms for everyone with a say Cupra.
That they're using for Trip 6 is quite good.
But do they run ballast after every race?
I don't think they'll be running any ballast, but I think they're just going to run it so that everybody's in equal runnings.
Yes.
But I think the Cupra's got the most ballast, but because it's been smashed with ballast and a power reduction, nobody's picked it.
But the thing is, it's like when we talk about this, I mean, you think about the cars through all the seasons. I mean, obviously Shaw's is always in a Cupra, because he's just the Cupra is his car. But I mean,
not winning anything else.
But but if you've driven that, but again, you look at tonight, for instance, and you had the car that won it was a Renault Megane. And a lot of it is down to, I think, over the season. I think it's more to do with practice carrying the ballast through the different cars.
The Alfa was shocking at carrying ballast, but because there's no ballast on the Sunday League car, I'm going back to the Alfa.
Back to the Alfa and just
smash the Cupra.
It swings and roundabouts, really. I think it's one of those. But again, I know, obviously, Stu, you're like, I want 60 kilograms of ballast. That's what I want. Realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that's going to happen. But as a whole, in terms of the ballast, I mean, yourself, Stu, I think you've carried the most ballast for the entire season. Would I be correct in saying? I think I'm correct in saying that.
Yeah, you are. I started off on 60, I think. Then, because I was third in the first, I think for the first race.
Yes.
I think it was third, and then I went second, then third again, and then I've been second, and then I was first, I think, for the last three race meetings. So I've obviously got used to carrying 80 kilos, and it's a struggle. Like Phil was saying, you can still fight in places, but with 60, I found I could fight best. That was why I say 60, because Bilsterberg, I was second, and nearly first.
Let's park Bilsterberg in the do not go there again track.
I'd love to go there again. It was fine for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't. I think as a hot lap track, I think it's perfect. I think as a racing track, it's not. Yeah. I just don't think it's a racing track, personally. I mean, that's my view, but
that about Sonoma as well, a little bit. Not to that extent, obviously.
A little bit less to Sonoma. But again, yourself, Stu, carrying the maximum ballast for the entire year. But again, I mean, would I be safe in saying that, because you've carried that maximum ballast, I think you've been unlucky this season, because second to fifth has changed so much in terms of the person behind you, whereas traditionally in a season, you'd get somebody who you'd be in and out of that position quite a lot. But because that middle group just seems to be flipping around constantly, your early victories, early positions almost hampered you. Or, you know what I mean? And it's not that I'm saying, it's because you've taken that leap forward in terms of pace.
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst position to be in is leading the championship in the last round, because we're all close because of the ballast.
Been there.
Yeah,
lost it at the final round.
Yeah, and I was there last season as well at Donington.
You should have learned from last year's shoot.
Yeah, well, the problem is I had quite a decent lead, and prior to the last race, and it's just been ate away at. But like you say, because people were fighting behind me, it allowed me to stretch out a bit of a lead, and I think potentially if I hadn't have had a couple of issues, it would have been a different result, I reckon. But yeah, it's been super close the whole season.
Yeah, so I've just had a provisional table posted. And yeah, it's 267. Neil's 261. Norton's 254.
Yeah.
Where did I get to?
You were fifth in the end, 235. It would have been your first week with ballast.
Next week.
Next week. Next week you've got ballast.
Sound. Yeah, about 44 ton.
But yeah,
Still be quicker than me.
But yeah, it's going to be exciting, especially for next season. Track selections coming into play as well, so it's going to be a greatest hits. Obviously, we've got I think Ning Bao has been put in as well as an additional request.
Yeah,
so
that's not even a track.
So that'll get discussed. It's going to be interesting, I think. I haven't looked. The preliminary results aren't through yet, but it's going to be interesting, I think, because so many drivers like different tracks in the way they're put together. So I suspect there'll be a lot of British tracks. I have my feeling.
Yeah.
I have my
Well,
feeling.
everyone's going to pick the tracks that they went best at, aren't they? Not being
Not
being
being
funny. If you
funny.
ask people to pick a track, where did I finish well at? Yeah, that one, that one, that one.
I picked Ashen, Red Bull, and somewhere else. I can't remember.
For reference, I didn't pick McTeggy.
I suspect Brands Hatch GP, Silverstone, and Donington will appear highly on the top three.
Quite possibly, yeah.
But then the choice is, do you drop one of because you have to be spread. It'd be interesting. I think it's going to be very interesting, and I think it's going to be a very interesting season. I think it's going to be even better than this season. But obviously we've got an influx of new drivers coming in as well.
Yeah.
Coming in, and obviously they've got to go through all the grading sessions. So, yeah. Well,
I think.
Sorry,
I was going to say I only think that we've had a bit of a drop off on the drivers purely because of the tracks being so sort of left field. Like you say, if we'd have run tracks that everybody knows, I don't think we'd have had the driver drop off that we did have. I mean, I know it's not been terrible. I think we've lost 4 or 5. But
it's been on.
Speaking to some of the drivers,
I know.
Speaking to some of them, I know that they dropped out because of the fact they didn't know the tracks that well.
But
and they just didn't have the time to put in to practice them.
Again, it's one of those things because you don't want to just keep running the same tracks every year or every season.
No, yeah, of course.
So it's a bit tough, which is why I think the greatest hits is going to be really good. I think we're going to have some good tracks in there. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be classic or wider Grand Prix tracks with a couple of twisty ones in. That's what I think. That would be my gut feeling. But surprisingly, it's exactly on the numbers. So every season we start, the numbers are run. And then by week 2, you can pretty much figure out the end number. And I think I was 1 short this week. So I was predicting to finish about 16 on the number. But I know one of the drivers didn't run because they did a practice. And they went, I'm so worried.
Disconnected as well, didn't he?
Back out as well, yeah.
Yeah, Papa Dim was in for qualifying, I think, and then disappeared.
Yes, he did. But
and on that note, I'm going as well because it's my bedtime.
Well, good night. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for joining us at TCRSL. Good luck driving your HGV. Please don't end up on one of those YouTube videos.
No.
All the very best, Phil.
Well done, Phil.
All the best.
Take care, mate.
See you around. See you later.
Stick to the streams.
Yeah, man. See you later.
See you later.
See you,
So I'm just going to finish off quickly, and then obviously for yourselves. Obviously, end of the season, that's it. 5-week break now. Some of you are obviously going to go into Trip 6 Motorsport and go and race with those guys in the Big Boys League. You know, we are the little league. They are the Big Boys League. You know, anything else you want to say? You know, anything else? I've kind of run out of things to say, actually, which is a first. Which is a first for me because I'm not going. We're not going.
You will.
Andy,
yeah.
I'd like to say something.
What? Sod off.
Thank you very much for your commentating. It's made the evenings for me. It really has.
No worries. I will.
I've enjoyed it. I even watch it back sometimes. Just
so do I, actually. I do the same thing on like a Thursday. I watch it back. It's
Thursday, you got to watch it back. Well, you watch it back on the as soon as we log off, you watch it back. Then you watch it back again tomorrow, just in case you missed anything.
Yeah, but the trouble is, there's not as many Pawleysms anymore.
No, I've missed a few of them this year.
No, I think
this season.
I think today I might have said the word balls deep.
Pardon?
Yeah, there is something because I got overexcited when Stu. There are a couple of points when Stu was on for the win, and I'm a bit overexcited. So yeah.
Well,
So
if I get a really boring weekend, I'll sit and watch every live stream back and pick out every
Any little
single
bit.
Pauleys and do a mashup of them and post them in the Pauleysms thread.
I mean, we can't forget the Norris ring one where he said, "Oh yeah, he just needs to stick up the inside." Then about 10 minutes later, I dived down the inside and hit Butcher.
It is what it is. I can't deny that. But no, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Like I said, I wouldn't commentate if I didn't believe it.
And thank you to all the admins for putting the league together. It's been great. And they get a lot of stick, and it's not deserved because it's not much fun running the league as an admin. You can never please everybody.
I'm sure they'll be very grateful for it. To be honest.
I've done it a few times over the years because I'm quite old now. I've done admin in other leagues in Live for Speed and things like that back in the day, and it's not fun because you always upset somebody no matter what you do. So thank you very much.
Don't worry, one league I had pretty much turned into a war zone.
Hang on a minute, you didn't turn it into a war zone, did you?
I actually can't remember. Didn't.
Oh, no.
Out.
I actually can't remember. I know I did copy a guy. So a guy used to flash his lights at me, so I just did the same thing.
Yeah, but that's, if anyone's wondering, that's on a game. That's not up a hill somewhere. I just want to point that out.
It's not Jake's dogging weekend, is it?
And by that he means walking his dog.
Absolutely yes.
Because this is a child-friendly entertainment. I don't want to have to put an 18 on this. Banned right at the end.
Since when is balls deep child friendly?
Well, when you're kicking a ball into a goal on football.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to be reminded of football, to be honest.
Oh no, here we go. We're off.
I mean,
right.
Saints played a Premier League team in the Norris Ring. I had a bad weekend at the Norris Ring. Saints play a Premier League team today. Bad race today.
Oh, great. Okay.
Saints play a League 2 team a few weeks ago. I have a good round, however, they lose. So yeah.
Whatever
Hey, where are you going with this?
We can be here for a while. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So yeah, thank you all of obviously yourself. Thanks for joining us tonight, Stu, as well, and obviously joining us. I think you've joined us another time during the season. I think it was.
It probably would have been on the first race, I'd imagine.
Yes.
The first win.
Yeah, first win, and I think you joined us in the middle as well, somewhere as well. I could be wrong.
I can't really remember. I
think it was when Simon gave me the tables and you were watching it and then jumped on. Yeah, it was that.
I jumped on, didn't I, afterwards? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do love a spreadsheet.
I know you do.
That
funny enough, that's why they work now. Sorry. So I'm not having a go at Mike.
Is that? Hang on, Andy. Was that a compliment?
Yeah, it was, and they don't come fast. So take it. People that know me take it.
I'm going out on a high.
But no, as always, thank you to everybody. Really, I think thanks to the admins, thanks to all the drivers, because it wouldn't be nothing without the drivers, to be honest. But it's been an ups and downs as always. It's been fun. We've had our troubles, Bilsterberg, and I will go back to that one. But again, you can't do these things until you do them, and then they get resolved. So yeah, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed it. And thank you, everybody. And thank you for all you that have joined me during the season. Made it enjoyable. I'm hoping we hit over 200 views today. We've been teetering on the edge for ages. So, yeah.
100 views on that Norris Ring video.
I
don't even know why.
If you keep watching it from different locations, that'd be great. Just pick one. Anybody want to say anything else before I close off? Please
don't beat me. Please don't beat me next season.
And everyone's
no promises.
Stu's just like, good riddance, go away. I'm going to have 20 beers.
Try. Worth a try.
Right. Good luck to you all. Thank you very much. Enjoy the time off, and hopefully we will see you all in season 5 for the greatest hits.
Nice
Cheers,
one.
Andy.
Right.
Thanks very
Cheers,
much.
bye.
mate.
Good night,
Cheers,
everybody.
then.
Yep.
And that's it. That is the end. There is no more. That is the end of the season. That's the end of season 4. So it's 5 weeks now. You won't see me for 5 weeks. You'll be peace and quiet. So there's always talking points, as I always say. As always, there's always many incidents that happen, many confusions, many different things. So there'll be hundreds of talking points following this. There always is. So yeah. It is one of those things, really. Shaw's provisional table winner, deserved winner, but again, so was Stu, so was Norton. They all deserved it. They all deserve to take the championship. But it is one of those. Benny Norton provisionally takes the Dugdale Trophy, and I know early on he was fighting for that. So, yeah, and it's because Simon does a Craig Deeks, and takes a victory at the very last race of the season. So he takes that as well. So, yeah, exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. So thank you, everybody. Good night. And I will see you in about 5 weeks.